everyone, my name's Ellie and I'm Stitching Bee here on Flosstube and also over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel all about cross stitch, crafty bargains and bees. Today I bring to you episode number 27. I can't believe we're now in June. I do not know where the time has gone. We're halfway through the year. And yeah, I have got loads to share with you as always. So grab a beverage and we'll get started. So first of all, I'm going to talk you through things you're likely to see in this video. Sadly, there isn't as much stitching as I would have hoped for because I've only focused really on one project, which is nearly finished. I'm not quite calling it a finish. So you will see that and a couple of small new starts, but I do have lots of other stuff to make up for it. Don't you worry. I'm sure it's still going to be an hours long video probably with the amount of other stuff that I have to share, especially when I look at the box of haul that is on the floor in front of me as well. I'll just check my notes so I don't miss anything. So as I say, I've got the nearly finished and two starts to share with you. I have got the giveaway prize that I won from Cottage Garden Threads, which I'm absolutely ecstatic about. And you will have seen it probably already on my Instagram page, but I can't wait to delve deeper into that and show you all the lovely goodies. I have got freebies to share with you from Snowflower Diaries and a Polish website, which you might want to have a gander on anyway because there's lots of lovely patterns on there. I've got my plans, which is basically do all my wedding stitching because I'm behind now. I've got Stitchy Kindness from 3 lovely cross-stitch designers that have reached out to me and wanted to share a free pattern with me so I can share it on my channel. So I'll show you those. I've got some PDF haul, I've got chat about some stitch alongs as well, things that I've kind of liked along the way that maybe I haven't purchased because I'm trying to limit my chart purchasing if I don't need it immediately because I've got all my wedding stitching to do, so ultimately I'm not going to be starting them anytime soon. But you know, a few things that have been on my radar that I definitely need to share with you, so I'll mention those. I have got lots of haul, as I've mentioned, the embroidery and colour box for May and June I've got to show you as well. We've got chat about the big stitch. We have also got some like life update, minimal, but I went to Krakow on holiday and I have some like handmade gifts, not gifts, I gifted them to myself, that I bought that I wanted to share that you might find interesting, but I'll plonk that on the end so you won't have to watch it if you don't want to. So we'll jump in with the nearly finish, which is so close, it just needs a little bit more backstitch and then it will be done. But I thought if I don't film today, it's going to be a good while before I get to film again. So I'm showing it you in the nearly finished format. So I'll go and get that just now. Right, so this pattern, I'm not sure if I actually started it at the end of last month or not, or whether or not you've seen it. But anyway, I'll put a picture in of what it'll look like when it's finished, which will be the mock-up from the designer. The designer is Crazy Bee Patterns on Etsy. They are a Ukrainian designer, I believe, and there's lots of lovely stuff on the Etsy page, so definitely go and take a look. Mine is obviously personalised to the person that I'm gifting it to. This is a wedding gift for one of my close friends, and yeah, I'm hoping to give it to her within the next 2 weeks, so that's why I've kind of had to batter through it. I thought this would be a relatively quick stitch, but it has taken me the whole month of May and I've basically stitched on nothing else. So yeah, I'll let you take as you will what that means from a quick stitch, but it is a beautiful, beautiful pattern and I am delighted with it. Although it is very creased at the moment and I apologise for that, but I want to just do the final back stitch before I obviously wash it and iron it, so then I can get ready for framing it. So with that being said, this is where we're at for the nearly finish. So as you can see, that just looks like random stitches in the middle there, but that is going to be their Mr. and Mrs. and then their name and the date. As you can see, I've done some of the back stitch on the 26th, so you can see what that kind of looks like. But oh, the design is so lovely. It's called Blue Floral Heart, and as you can see, it's kind of forget-me-nots in that lovely shade of blue, which was my friend's kind of bridesmaid dress colour. And oh, it's so pretty. So I'm stitching this on a 32 count blush pink linen by Zweigart, and I'm stitching it with the Call for DMC threads. Sorry, the sun is just coming round, so the lighting might change a little bit, but there's lots of lovely back stitch. That's the butterfly there. as you can see, well, maybe you can't tell, but the pattern calls for 310, the black, but I've just changed it to a really dark navy just because I thought the black might kind of stand out too much, and I felt the navy was obviously in keeping with the other blues that have been used. So that's the lovely butterfly. And then if I go around, you see all the intricacies of the gorgeous forget-me-nots. And there is a lot of backstitch involved in stitching them, as you can see, and a lot of stopping and starting because I really don't like to carry my threads at the back. So I've basically just done like one stitch, pin stitched it, and then changed again. So all of these have been stitched separately, so it gives that really fine and delicate look. So yeah, I've just got to do that back stitch over their names, and then that will be finished. So all the cross stitching is done, so that's why it's a nearly finished. The lovely needle minder up there is from the needle minder lady on Etsy. She's just about to upload some more new needle minders, so definitely go and have a look at her Etsy page. But yes, I'm very pleased with this. I'm going to frame it myself. I haven't really left huge margins because this was the only bit of this fabric I had left, and it fits, you know, perfectly, as in the pattern is okay on it, but there isn't as much of a margin as I would like normally when I'm framing something, but we'll make it work. And as you can see, I've used the micro pour tape to seal the edges because I haven't got a serger or anything. I know I could probably use something on the sewing machine, but the tape's just, you know, easily accessible and does the same job. So yeah, at least that's sealed the edges so it shouldn't fray. But I'm going to frame this myself with a frame from Picture Frames Express. And yeah, I want to do a couple of different blue kind of mounts to really emphasize the blue. It's all about the larkspur blue color. So yeah, I want to frame that and highlight those accents in the project. And yeah, hopefully my friend really likes it. She better. No, I think she will really appreciate it. So that is basically all my stitching for this month. Now I'm going to show you the new starts as well, but they are significantly smaller and were just kind of little projects to do on holiday, so I didn't take this one with me. But that has been really May in a nutshell, is that one project. Now we're going to go on to my two new starts. The first one you will have seen probably on my Instagram page because I did put a little picture up because I was stitching it on holiday, and use this for stitching on the plane and things like that. So this is called Thistle, and I'll put a picture in if I have one, by Florine Studio, I think it is, on Etsy. And it's a relatively small design. The colours of the thistle I wasn't too happy with, so I have changed them up because I wanted them to be really bright and kind of in keeping with the wedding colour scheme, as I'm sure you all know what that is now, of like the pinky purples and more bluey purples and things. So yes, I have changed that. It is also kind of a nearly finish. I've just got a little bit of the other two thistles to stitch, but all the kind of green is stitched. So without further ado, I'll show you this. So it's stitched on a 28 count navy even weave, as basically all my wedding stitching is, and it's with the DMC threads. But as I say, I just changed up the thistle colours just to kind of make them more pink and brighter, so they contrast with that green beautifully. But there's lots of colour changes in there, as you can see. There's 3 different shades. Sorry. Probably a bit there. 3 different shades of the pink within just one of the thistle flowers. So yeah, basically just got 1 colour left to do on this thistle, and then another 2 in that one, and then that'll be finished. This piece is significantly smaller than a lot of the other pieces that I'm doing for the tables, so I think I might have this on our kind of top table because it's just me and my fiance having a table to ourselves. I think you call it a sweetheart table, so I thought because it's a smaller table, maybe we could just have the smaller cross stitch piece. The next one is an even smaller start, so you don't get too excited, but is a lovely pattern by Threads and Whispers on Etsy, and her design's absolutely beautiful. She doesn't have loads and loads of designs on her Etsy shop, but the ones that are there are really lovely. And if you've seen on my Instagram in my last Flosstube, I showed you the iris design, which I've stitched, that is also one of hers. So this one is called Orchid, and is a gorgeous pink orchid, and as mentioned before, I love orchids. That one's still flowering. Yeah, I really wanted that to be incorporated into the wedding table names as well, so that's why I went with this pattern. And it is significantly bigger, as I say, than the thistle, but it's similar size to the iris, so really that can kind of balance out. And I've got something exciting to say about that design later on as well. So I will have put a picture in of what it looks like when it's finished. And this is my extremely pitiful start that, as I say, I just started really to have as plain stitching because I knew the thistle was quite small, and I thought maybe I'll finish it when I'm on holiday. I mean, I guess I wasn't too far off, but I thought I can't be without cross stitch on holiday. That would just be a disaster. So I thought I'll start 2 projects and then I'll definitely have stitching to do. And then yeah, I thought I could probably do there's a big leaf here that would be quite easy stitching, but as I say, never really got to work on that other than for like an hour or so just to kind of start it off. But a start nonetheless, and hopefully I'll continue with this one for this month. My other plans in terms of wedding stitching are to get back to my ring pillow, which has been severely neglected this month. And what I'm going to do, I think, is maybe put because I never mentioned it before, but I'm sure if you've watched other videos before, I'm stitching a flower for each of the table names for my wedding. So there'll be about 10 different flowers that I'm stitching. My plan was to do 1 flower every month, and which I have stuck to up until now. If I'd have finished the thistle, that would have been May's one stitched. However, I'm concerned that the ring pillow now has taken a back seat, and I need to do, I think, 1,200 stitches a month on that to get it finished for March. So that is going to be, yeah, a struggle if I don't really start working on that more intently. So what I'm going to do is kind of put the flowers on maybe a bit of a back burner this month and really focus on the ring pillow and try and get as much of that done as possible. And then once I feel like I've kind of caught up, I can go back to doing the flowers, because ultimately they're not like an absolutely essential part of the wedding, whereas I feel like the ring pillow kind of is. So I'm going to do that and also try and get more work done on the wedding welcome sign. I'm not going to show you those today because you will see them in the last video, and I have done no work on them whatsoever this month, which is a shame, but my friend's wedding piece kind of took priority. But from now on, no other stitching is getting done other than wedding stitching. So yeah, hopefully we'll get back on track and get those pieces done. So that's kind of all my plans and new starts and things. Now we're going to move on to the giveaway prize, which I won from Cottage Garden Threads in Australia. And it was their 20,000 subscriber giveaway that they were doing on Instagram. And obviously giveaways pop up quite often on Instagram, and I entered like you normally would. And yeah, I could not believe when I got the email to say that I'd actually won it. I was like, are you sure? Really? I don't really have much luck generally. I don't really win anything. So I was so delighted to win, and was like eagerly anticipating the prize coming. So yeah, I've got it now, and as I say, I've shared pictures on my Instagram, which are also on Cottage Garden Threads Instagram page as well, if you want to go and see them. But I thought I'd show you a bit more detail about the contents of the box, and it was very, very generous. I could not believe how much was actually in here. And the fact it's come all the way from Australia. So the first thing I had was a Sew Line fabric glue pen. So I never realised they did quilting and things like that as well. So this is really helpful. Not that I've ever tried English paper piecing, but it's something I definitely want to do at some point. And it is to save you kind of having to tack the fabric onto the kind of template when you're cutting them out and making the English paper piecing pieces. So this is kind of like a glue pen that just cuts out that process. That makes life a bit easier. And then I've got all these kind of packets of different shaped quilting pieces. So that's all hexagons. That one's all little squares. So I think you've got about 100 in here, obviously like pre-cut, so that saves so much time. Got the half hexagons and the honeycomb pieces as well. So they are fantastic. The quilting stuff's all at the top, so that's why I'll just show you that first. And then these Tack It Easy EPP tools. So it's kind of like a cardboard template. And I saw this on their Instagram page the other day of how it works, that you kind of just obviously fold it along the dashed line, and that just helps create the shape so much faster. So I've got that shape, got a hexagonal one, and the kind of other honeycomb shape. So they'll be amazing to use. Oh, one more here as well, which is another different shape. So absolutely fantastic. They're the refills for the pen as well. I've got some Bowen needles, which are for crewel embroidery, so great for finishing and quilting and all those kind of things. So they'll be fun to try. And then as cross stitchers, obviously the main thing we're excited about is all the Stitchy goodies. So they put in 2 gorgeous patterns. So this is called Spring by Mojo Stitches, who I think is an Australian designer if I'm not mistaken. So that's lovely. And then the other one, which is my favourite, is Autumn. Look at the colours in that. Again by Mojo Stitches. And then if that wasn't enough, they sent the thread packs to go with both of those. So this is the thread pack called Fireplace for the autumn design. So here we have, this one's called Fireplace, Mahogany, Gilt and Leather Bound. So really, really good. That one in particular, I absolutely love. And the kind of red one. Oh, all of them are lovely. So, so pretty. And then for the spring design, we have the pack called Alice. And within that is this one called Alice. There is Austin, Foxing and Perfume. So they're really lovely pastel colours. Very, very pretty. And then again, if that wasn't enough, they also sent the Cottage Core collection. I mean, if that's not a bit of me, I don't know what it is. I love cottages. So this has 10 Cottage Garden threads inside of it. And they're just kind of packaged like that. So I'm probably going to ruin the order now, but here we are. So we have got Loved Apron, which is a kind of greyish blue. Really nice. Wild Rose, which is one of my favourites. Sorry if these aren't showing up so well, the light's changing again, but as I say, check out my Instagram page if you want kind of closer up shots. That was called Cozy Nook. Got Bramble, which is a really nice purple. Honey, lovely yellow. Cottage, which is a bit of everything. Got a bit of green in there and the kind of the Love Apron colour and the bramble as well. Pretty Ribbons, which are gorgeous kind of rhubarb and custard kind of colour. Stove, which is a really lovely brown. And Simple Things, lovely green. Oh, and one more Chantilly lace, kind of off-white. So yeah, I cannot thank Cottage Garden Threads enough. I'm so, so delighted with the prize, and I feel so, so lucky and grateful that I was the lucky winner. So thank you so much again. I've obviously thanked them over email already and shared photos that are on their Instagram page too. But yeah, I'm a very happy gal. And on that note, I'll just quickly grab the box that I bought from the charity shop today, which is a Sarah Miller box with a hummingbird on. Look at that. And I'm going to use this to keep my threads in, because I think it's a really special kind of looking box for some very special threads. So yeah, thank you so much. And it was lovely, all the people that commented as well on the post to say congratulations. That was really kind of you. So thank you very much for that. Speaking of Sarah Miller, I also meant to show you this a couple of videos ago, but look at this gorgeous tin. This is again a Sarah Miller tin. I love Sarah Miller. I've got quite a few different things that I've picked up along the way. And I'm showing you this because this is my Orts container for my wedding stitching. So not that it's very exciting to see, but there's threads in there. And basically all the wedding stitching I'm doing, I'm putting my threads into this special tin. Basically I needed an excuse of what to put in the tin to warrant actually buying it, because my partner was like, you've got loads of tins, why do you need another one? Thinking, think fast, think fast. My threads for the wedding, obviously, that's why I need it. And he bought that, so that's fine. he didn't ask any other questions after that. So it's obviously a very beautiful tin, which I have out on display now, right by my Stitchy spot. But then the idea, which I know loads of people have done before, it's nothing that I've thought up, but I've always wanted to do it, but never really known what threads to use. But anyway, I have decided to keep all the threads, and then I'm going to make one of those balls where you put all the threads in it, and then with my Cricut I can do some like vinyl, gold vinyl, to kind of again make an ornament for our wedding. So yeah, that's the plan for that. So I just wanted to show you my gorgeous tin, and I think I bought this from TK Maxx. I've got a biscuit tin as well, which I still actually haven't got a reason for why I bought that. It's in the cupboard with nothing in it, but it's just so pretty. So yeah, you can pick these kind of things up at TK Maxx if you have a little look. Now we're going to move on to the freebies. The light is changing again. It looks like I'm, I don't know, got like a buttercup under my chin or something, lighting my face up. It's just the way the sun's coming round. So the freebies that I have to share with you, the first one, I think I was Googling Polish cross-stitch shops or something, because as I say, I went to Krakow and was seeing if there was anything available. Sadly, there wasn't, and I did put it on Instagram, and yeah, people did reply and say, yeah, sadly there's no shops really for cross-stitch, but I ended up finding this website, which I feel I shouldn't look at too much because I want to I'll end up buying everything. But I did see that they had a small freebie section on their website. So it is in Polish, but obviously Google Translate can translate it for you, no problem. So just two little simple designs that I wanted to share with you. So the first one is butterfly, and it's just a butterfly that's made up of very small segments with lots of different colours, and I thought it would be a great kind of monochromatic piece, or a piece that you could just use odd bits of thread to stitch. Might be a nice, you know, like smalls exchange or a nice gift or something along those lines. And then the other one is a dragonfly, which is on like a gorgeous purple kind of background, which I really liked, and it's got teals and things in it as well. So I'll put a picture of that up here as well. So the website is called Krakow, and I'll link it down below so you can have a look. But yeah, don't come at me if you end up getting enabled, because you may well do. It's yeah, got lots of lovely patterns. There's a gorgeous bee one with lavender and things, and I'm like, no, I don't need it, but it is very nice. So yeah, I might buy that maybe next year, or at a, you know, another week moment on my night shift break or something like that. The other designer I want to mention, I mention pretty much every month, because she's always got so many different patterns on that are freebies on her Facebook page and Instagram. So the Snowflower Diaries has got a fabulous one called Happiest by the Sea, and it's got a seagull and little fish, and yeah, it's really lovely. I'm not a fan of seagulls because one stole my ice cream once and like ate the whole ice cream scoop in one go. So I know some people have a soft spot for them, but I really dislike them, especially when you're trying to eat chips as well. They're very keen on stealing those too. So I probably wouldn't stitch this myself, but I know a lot of other people love seagulls, and you know, are obviously in keeping with like the beach and summer themes and everything and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd put it on to share. I mean, it's a lovely pattern, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm not a fan of seagulls. So yeah, I'll link those down below so you can go and find them if you wish to stitch them. Now I'm going to move on to Stitchy Kindness. I am so touched that these lovely people wanted to send me things, and I'm delighted to share them on my channel. So I did mean to mention two of them last month, but I just got carried away and ended up forgetting, so I'm really sorry about that, but I'm making sure they're definitely mentioned this video. So the first one is a shop called Harmony Home and Heart, And the lovely lady Edith, who is based in Australia, reached out to me over email and said that she'd like to send me a free pattern from her website. So she's got lots of lovely designs, a lot of kind of geometric ones, mandalas, I think it's a Chinese or Japanese kind of symbols or letters with lovely backgrounds and different animals as well. Obviously a lot of Australian animals, kangaroos, koalas, that kind of thing. So yeah, lovely website to have a browse at. So she was very, very kind and said I could pick any pattern off her website. So I chose the Meadow Radiance mandala, and it's got some beautiful colours, very in keeping with my wedding colours, I might say. And I thought I'd really like to stitch that and make it into a pillow or something along those lines. So I'm really, really grateful, Edith. Thank you so much for reaching out, and I will link her website down below so you can go and check out the other patterns that are on her website. The next designer I have to mention is Crazy Bee Patterns, who is the designer of the gorgeous floral heart, which I've shown you was basically all of May's stitching. And as I say, she's based in Ukraine and sent me well, first of all, she was so helpful with stitching that piece that I reached out to her to say, oh, I'm kind of struggling to chart the names of the recipients, and would she be able to help me? And there is an alphabet that you get with the chart to chart it yourself, but I thought this is going to take me forever to do, and I was wanting it more centralized, whereas the mock-up is more kind of off to one side. So she was so helpful and sorted it within a couple of days, really, like recharted it for me, sent me a new PDF with it centered and with the personalization on there. So I can't praise her highly enough. Really grateful for that. But she also reached out, I'm assuming it's a woman. I don't actually know the name of the person, so sorry if it's not, but they said I could have a pattern of my choice off their Etsy page as well. So I picked another mandala, the rainbow lace mandala, and I literally could not cope when I saw this. It's stitched on black and obviously it's rainbow colours, and it is breathtaking. I mean, you'll be seeing a picture here, but the use of the colour on that black just really makes it pop. It's absolutely fantastic. So I was like, I had like 5 or 6 that I was like, I really like that, and I really like that. And then I thought, no, I need to get the mandala. It's beautiful. So I can't wait to stitch that at some point in my future. Then finally, last but not least, Threads and Whispers, who I've mentioned a couple of times. One for the iris piece that I stitched, the orchid piece that I'm going to stitch, or is a new start. Mina is the lady who runs that Etsy shop, and I don't think she's been on Etsy for too long, but she is a fabulous designer. She is based in Italy, and reached out to me to say how grateful she was that I'd shared my stitching, really, of that iris design, and left a review and things. And she said it was the first time she'd seen that piece actually stitched up. She just got a mock-up of it on her Etsy page, so she was so delighted to see that someone had stitched it fully. And as a thank you, she sent me, I said I could pick a free pattern, so I went for the cute goose floral, which is adorable. It's a goose wearing a hat, a pink hat, and has lots of like purple flowers next to it, and it's so cute. So I believe she's got a sale in her shop at the moment, so head over and have a little look. It's only like a couple of pounds if you're to buy it anyway. So yeah, I had to pick that one. And then I said, oh, you know, that I'm doing my wedding stitching, and like the iris will be on the table, one of the tables at my wedding. And she went, oh, that's so lovely. I really want to send you like a personalized piece for your wedding. I was like, what? This is crazy. She was so generous. So basically she said, tell me your favorite flower and I'll design a chart for you, you know, for wedding stitching. So I always have a soft spot for bluebells because they always remind me of my nan. So yeah, she's going to design me a bluebell pattern, which is incredibly kind, and I'm so touched that she wanted to do that for me. And I sent her some pictures of bluebells when I went on a walk a couple of months back, and you know, she thanked me for the inspiration and things. And she said she's done the sketch and she's just in the process of actually charting it now. So I can't wait to reveal that when eventually she finishes it. I mean, she's done it so fast, it's unbelievable. And yeah, that would be so special to have something that she's actually made for me. I mean, I assume it'll be on her Etsy page as well, because it will obviously be just a flower design to everybody else, but the fact that she wanted to do that was really sweet. So thank you very much, Mina. And again, she'll be linked down below. And I'll be talking more about her obviously when I stitch the orchid piece. So now we're going to move on to PDF haul. Gone are the days where I bought loads and loads of PDF haul, because I'm trying to not buy charts, because I know I'm not going to stitch them this year. So I'm kind of going to wait and try and get them, you know, maybe in sales and different things like that, because I don't need them right now. Although it's hard to restrain myself sometimes. The one that I did buy, because if you bought them when they came out, they were a little bit cheaper, is the Barbara Anna Stitch Along. Hoop Vibes Only, I think it's called. So I think I showed you the first two last time, and I'll show you the third one that is out now. And I'm not sure if you can still get it for the reduced price, but even then it's not that expensive. But I think it was like £2 or £3 if you bought it when it came out initially. So I have got that in my stash, and the colours are just beautiful. And then the next ones I also purchased were the Drawn Thread. I didn't realise the Drawn Thread had a website. I don't know why. I guess I never just looked for it. But I found these two gorgeous patterns that I had to have. So the first one is called Two Friends. And I think Cross Stitch Sarah might like this, because it's got two sheep on it. And it is, I think it's got a pink heart or flowers or something along those lines. It's so pretty. So I had to purchase that one. And then the other one I got was a gorgeous robin sitting on a branch of a tree, and it's called Waiting for Spring. So yeah, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, go and check out the Drawn Threads website. So now we move on to the section that is called likes. Things that I feel I would like to buy, but I'm not buying yet, just because I know I'm not going to start them. But Yasmin's Made with Love has released the secret, well, it's called Secret Garden, and it is a stunning piece with flowers and birds. And I think Abby, the Stitching Cat Lady, has done the model stitch for it, or shared pictures of it, which Yaz has shared as well, on a gorgeous kind of pink fabric, and it looks beautiful. And I think it was in her spring box as well, was the other way to get it, but it's now released, and you can get it as a physical pattern or as a PDF. So I will purchase the PDF at some point, but it's so lovely. I'm itching to start it, but I know I've got other stuff I need to do. So that's one of the things that, as Pam would say, razzled my berries, but I don't want to steal her phrases. The next one is by Pony Stitches on Instagram, but also known as Velvet Pony Stitches, I think. The Secret Lagoon Sal, which loads of people have been stitching, but it's now come to an end. And again, was so tempted to buy it at the time, but I thought, no, I'm not realistically going to stitch it, so we'll wait and hold off. But the seal, isn't he gorgeous? I love seals. So that's really sweet. And the crab, and there's a swordfish and a turtle, I think a squid as well. I can't think off the top of my head the other designs, but I'll be putting pictures in anyway. And yeah, I love that. It's such a fab design. And I think there's going to be another stitch along, or that's coming soon, or just started, called the Tropical Sal. So go and have a look at Pony Stitches Instagram, because oh, it's just beautiful. So many lovely patterns. So I love the colours and the brightness and cheeriness of that. And then the other one that I've just seen recently, only came out, or was revealed, I guess, at the start of the month, is by Cotton and Twine, and is the, I assume by Crochet Go-Go, I haven't really looked into it too much, the final installment of the kind of seasonal series. So it's summer, and it's these gorgeous kind of tealy turquoise butterflies, and it just looks really pretty. And I had stopped my subscription for that, because I'm just trying to, you know, well, I say that, try not to buy things, then I keep looking at my box of haul. But anyway, try not to do subscriptions unless like I absolutely have to. So this is a case of absolutely have to rejoin to get this. And I'm torn between getting the pattern and the kit, because the kit comes with a bee needle minder, which is so cute. But yeah, I have to be realistic. But I love the bee needle minder, it's so sweet. So that is another thing that I would like to get. One other thing, I don't know why, but well, I guess I just thought, I've been in Love Poppets Patreon this whole time since it started, and I thought maybe I'll give it a bit of a break and, you know, come back to it when I'm ready to stitch some of the designs. And, you know, I love Claire's work, absolutely love it. But I thought, right, okay, I might need to leave the Patreon now and just have a break period from it. And I thought I'll stay in just one more month, you know, just to check that I'm not missing out on anything. And I am so glad I did. I mean, I would have just rejoined if, if I had left, but I'm so glad I did, because the piece this month is a hummingbird, and it's got some gorgeous, I think it's pink flowers, and the hummingbird's looking up at those, and it is beautiful, and I feel like the world needs to see it. So here is Love Poppet's Patreon release for June. It is breathtaking, I love it. And if I didn't have wedding stitching to do, I would be starting it right now because it is fabulous. So thank you, Claire, for keeping me in your Patreon. I have to see what it is for the following month as well. And, you know, realistically, I'm not going to leave it, am I? But yeah, those are the things that I really enjoyed looking at and yeah, seeing on Instagram and things over the last month. So very brief chat now about Big Stitch. So I think I mentioned the last time the two patterns that I'd got pre-ordered, so the magpie stitching and the woodpecker, which are the exclusive designs. And as I say, I'm not sure if we're allowed to share or not, but if you check out Mama Loves You GB's Instagram page and Flosstube, you will have seen the woodpecker, which is fantastic, and it's on Little Loop Stitching or the Big Stitch Instagram page if you want to see what the magpie sneak peek looks like. So they're the two that I pre-ordered, but then we also get a free design from Little Loop Stitching or the Odd Bar Stitching Company. It's like it's known by both names, and it's got a puffin in it, and it is so cute. And then there was really exciting news. I'm not going to share it on here just in case no one's, you know, not read the email or seen it, but I'm sure it's probably common knowledge. But I cannot wait for Stacey Nash's animal cracker that she is releasing at Big Stitch. I'm so excited. I actually squealed a little bit when I was looking at the email before I had dinner, and my partner's like, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I'm just really excited." It's like, "Oh, I thought something was wrong with you." I'm like, no, just cross-stitching excitement, that's all it is. So yeah, that'll be happening at the end of this month, and I can't wait. So exciting, can't wait to meet people. And yeah, just being in a room full of stitchers will be fantastic, and having like vendors to shop from. I'm gonna be, yeah, like a kid in a sweet shop, honestly. Really looking forward to that. So that'll come round very quickly. And I can't wait to meet anybody that is going too. So now we're gonna move on to my overflowing box of haul. And I'm not even going to show you everything because I'll mention it now. It was really sad to hear that Heritage Crafts have ceased trading, and yeah, it's so sad that they've shut down. I really loved all, well, I still do obviously love all their kits, and they're just such high quality and have so many varied different designs and themes and things. And I've wanted a lot of their kits for quite a while, but never kind of got round to really purchasing them. So then when I saw the message that they'd ceased trading, I kind of panic bought, as I'm sure most of us did, and have bought quite a few kits now. So I was very fortunate to be able to get all the ones that I did want to buy. And I will link down below the sellers that I bought them from, and I'll mention a couple here. So Arts and Designs, I got most of them from. Arts and Designs I can't rate highly enough. They have super fast shipping, really great customer service, really competitive pricing. I got a couple from Past Impressions, which is another shop online that has lots of different, you know, of your usual kind of kit retailers. So I've used them a couple of times for other kits as well. Cotton Club Crafts I would normally purchase from, but sadly they were already out of stock. Black Sheep Wools I also tried to order from, but my order got cancelled immediately because they didn't have the stock for them. And the other one I bought from is Very Crafty. And another one on eBay called Stitching Crafts 2012. I believe they still have quite a few heritage crafts from when I last looked. So go and check those out if there's a couple that you've not got that you would like to buy, because I think once the stock is gone, obviously it's not going to be reinstated, and it would just be from purchasing on the second-hand market that you would be able to get the kits. So I'm just checking, I think that's everybody that, yeah, I shop from. So with that being said, I thought I would maybe do at some point sooner rather than later, if there are, you know, people that still want to buy some of the kits and want to see what kits are hopefully out there still, before they all go out of stock. I'm going to do a Heritage Crafts kind of stash dive of all the kits that I've got. I had like 5 when I started, and you know, we've got substantially more than that now, let's say. So yeah, I thought I would do a separate video on that to show you the kits that I've got from them, because they're so fabulous, and I really don't want people missing out. If you know they can still buy them now, then now is the time. So with that being said, I'm gonna share my Heritage Craft kits at a later date. So this haul is everything except for that, which, you know, that was a big percentage of it. But the other thing I wanted to share is the lovely Broidery and Colour box from Broidery and Colour, but also Tom and Lily Creations, and the other lady, I've already forgotten, but they co-run the Broidery and Colour company. I'll put her name down below, and she is tagged in the post that I mentioned this kit in as well. And so there's a little bit of rustling just once I open this design for, so it's a bi-monthly box, and the design for May and June is called Peacock Feathers. And look at the beauty of that. So this I saw on Instagram as a reel where they shared it, and I was like, right, I need it now. I'm obsessed with those colours. Teals and the purples, just totally up my street. So they're a bilingual company, so the instructions are both in English and in French. The kit came over from France, and the price includes the shipping as well. It is a subscription service, so you obviously end up subscribing bi-monthly if you do sign up, so it's up to you whether you continue that subscription or just buy the one-off box, or you can also pause subscription as well if you want to, if you're not keen on the next box that comes out. And I've ordered one of the box before, which I think was back in October, was the Fox one, the autumn box, so I just order the ones that I really like. But I mean, look at the beautiful hand-dyed threads there. I was really drawn to the purples in particular. Well, all the colours work really beautifully together. So they're all hand dyed, and then the fabric as well is hand dyed. So this piece is the even weave. So it was my own fault really. I kind of prefer the darker one, but I didn't realise that was the linen. So if I order again, I'll probably go for the linen option instead of the even weave. But I prefer stitching on even weave, so that's why I went with it. But the colour is a little bit paler. But if that's what you like, then the even weave option is for you. So it's a kind of more, I'd say that's relatively true to colour. It's like a paler blue with kind of darker bits and quite a lot of mottling on the fabric. But if I can hold the two together, see the threads really do pop on that. So maybe the darker one you would obviously have slightly less contrast, but that is really beautiful. And if you want to see a picture of it, go and check out my Instagram page as well, if you want to see it in a different light. And the box also includes a couple of little stickers, a little fairy one, and there's a tree, and then there's a needle, and then a little kind of pucker tea bag as well, obviously along with the full instructions and pattern. So that is the lovely box, which, not being sponsored by them or anything, I did buy that with my own money. And we'll move on to the other haul. So most of these things I have purchased off Vinted or eBay, as per usual. This one I'd initially seen on Vinted and was going to buy it along with the other Mirabilia patterns that I showed you a couple of videos ago, but I missed out on it. I wasn't fast enough, and I was like, I really want that now. And I know it's one that's out of print, So it's called English Roses, I think. Or the pattern's the other way around, so I can't actually see. But I think it's something like that. I would stitch it on a different fabric and probably just stitch it as a circular piece rather than the other bits at the top and the bottom, or maybe even just omit that part. But I can imagine this in a really kind of beautiful ornate frame, a gold frame or something like that. So I found this on eBay. I think it was like £5 or something. It is kind of, I won't really show you the chart, but it is highlighted, so it's not, you know, in a brand new condition. But the fact that I got it for such a good price and the fact it's only highlighter, I can easily see past that, you know, it doesn't affect actually stitching it. So yeah, was really delighted to get that. And then also on Vinted, I found these Brenda Gervais charts. So this is called Holiday Hoopla Halloween. And look at the witch on the broom with that funny looking pumpkin. And that green fabric is fabulous. And the broom, the way that's done with the other threads, I think that's really clever. So that's the first one. And then the other one is called Where Love Grows by Brenda Gervais. And I just thought it was really beautiful. I probably wouldn't stitch the words. It says, home is a garden of blessings where love grows and memories bloom. I would probably just stitch the piece and maybe do a drum or something, but I also like that little bit at the bottom with the bees and the beehive. Making a little pillow or something to go with it, or a scissor keep or something along those lines. So I was really chuffed to get those. Then I got a deal off Facebook Marketplace. That a lady was selling kits on behalf of an older lady who couldn't see to stitch anymore. So this was a kind of bundle. So I got a little Textile Heritage Poppies kit. The design from one of the magazines. Hasn't got the chart, but I think I probably have the magazine that it came from. This one I really, really wanted. It's called, oh, it doesn't actually have a name, but it's different two little blue tits. And it's by Adele Wellesby Designs, which is definitely out of print because I did search to see, and it's one of those the patterns is kind of hand drawn. The design's just called Blue Tits. But it says they were initially based in Bedfordshire, but I'm sure they've ceased trading long ago. But I really loved that pattern. I thought it was quite cute and comical how the blue tits are playing on that tap there. And also in the bundle was the remains of this kit. However, unfortunately there's a page missing, so I'm going to have to find it from somewhere else to actually be able to stitch the whole thing. But I just really liked that as a design. That's a Bothy Threads one. Also in this bundle I got this Rose Window Macintosh one. I do love Macintosh. I'd probably change it up and maybe darken the colours a bit and stitch it on black or something like that to make it really pop. But that's a Derwent Waters design, which is also Bothy Threads. The main reason I kind of bought it initially was for the gold collection pattern. So this is a Dimensions pattern. Obviously it's just the chart rather than the full kit, but it's called European Bistro and it's from 2008. And that was really pretty as well. Very much holiday vibes. So that was all from one seller. Then my 123 Stitch order came in, and I think I ordered these last July, but they've been out of stock. I think there's been issues with Just Nan, you know, not being able to restock for whatever reason. So this one is the Queen of the Needle mouse, which is fabulous. I've already got the 3D pattern for that as well. So I wanted the mouse to go with it, and it comes with the little bits and bobs that you need to finish it off. Then I've got the Frosty Chillingsworth mouse. Thought he was a great one for winter, and I love the hat. I think he's very, very posh and proper. So that's fabulous. And then Hazel Fun Witch mouse. So one for Halloween. She's on her broomstick, again with a fabulous purple hat on. I love how they do the tails as well with the kind of wire that you get within the chart pack. So those were three that came from 1, 2, 3 stitch. Then I found this chart on eBay, I think it was, or Vinted, one of the two, and I love hummingbirds, as previously mentioned many times this video. This is called Hummingbird Art, and is a sunset kit, which is the company that were there before Dimensions, or that was the name of them before Dimensions. So I think you can buy this as a Dimensions kit as well, but it's very expensive. So the sunset ones often are a lot cheaper because people don't realise that they're kind of Dimensions kits. So that's a little tip if you're looking for some older charts, then try and search for sunset as well as Dimensions. Then I got these off Vinted. These are MP Studio kits, I believe. They're Russian designs. This one I love because I think I mentioned it last time we went, or maybe I didn't. Me and my partner went to a tulip festival last month, the month before, I can't even remember now. And yeah, it was just like that, not with the hot air balloons, but loads and loads of different coloured tulips and different species. I think there was about 35 different species of tulips there. So I thought that was just a really cute design. And then I just got these as a bundle. So got the little ornaments for stockings, the bauble, the little Christmas trees, and then the other one, it's just in a little bag, is bullfinches, which I thought were fab. So yeah, pick those up as a little bundle, just the charts and leftover threads. And you can often do quite well when you buy just the charts because they're only a couple of pounds, whereas obviously buying the full kit would cost a lot more. So that's that. Oh, and then I did an order with Geeky Stitching Company. So Jess sends these lovely little postcards out of one of her fabulous designs. And I ordered some needle minders from her. So, there we go. I bought this fabulous, oh no, have I got, oh, it's just a bit of paint or something. Maybe the paint's come off. I don't know. This lovely needle minder of the frog. Look at the sparkly purple hat. I think he's so cute. So these are clay needle minders from the Geeky Stitching Company. Then I got the pigeon, because who doesn't love a pigeon needle minder? And these ones are acrylic, and I also got the duck. And I really do want to get, oh, that should have been in my liked things as well. I really do want to get the duck piece that she's just released. I've got the chicken one already, but we love seeing ducks, so I might have to get that too. And now I've got the needle minders to go with it. That's that. And then speaking of more needle minders, which are all stuck together, I got this caterpillar cross stitch one. Sorry, the magnets are all joining together, from Vinted. It's a little unicorn. And then from the needle minder lady, I got the strawberry one. So they were good little finds. Then some other place, I got a little Dimensions kit from 2022 that's called Camping Adventure. I don't love camping, but I really like stargazing, so I thought that was quite a nice little scene. And this was a bit of a rogue purchase, but I went with it anyway. It's called Mrs. B.R.'s Craft Station, and it's a wool felt penny mat kit called Honey Party. And obviously you can see why I bought it because of all the bees, but it is just lots and lots of felt, which you cut out the different shapes and kind of applique them down. And I ummed and ahed about this for ages, and I thought, I really don't need another hobby. But then I thought, but can you imagine if someone else bought this and you didn't have it? And I looked around, I couldn't see it on the internet to buy anywhere else. I thought, I guess I'll just buy it then. So that was that kind of rogue purchase. Then I got a Disney princess. I love the older, you know, like Disney princesses from my childhood. So I thought they'd be nice to stitch together. So that is a calendar from 2004. Christmas Quickies, which is by Dimensions. It's Barbara Mock. Just little designs that you can stitch. I liked, you know, a couple of those, and it was only like £1 or something. So, and then I think it was a bundle, so I also got that little kit, little chart. Then I got this Bluebirds of Happiness Dimensions kit, which I thought was really pretty. That is from 1996. And oh, I forgot I'd even got these. I feel like this was a while ago. I got some Morganella Chromatic Alchemy fabric and some Winter Skies fabric that's opalescent. That's from Sparklies. Again, destash from some seller on Vinted or Facebook. And that one's called Amorentia. And Chromatic Alchemy don't dye fabric anymore, unfortunately. But it's a big piece of 18 by 26, and I love the colours in that. Perfect for like Valentine stitching or fancy ladies, all those kind of things. Also got a little Lizzie Kate chart that is called Snow Day. Again, make a cute drum or a little pillow. Got some even weave to dye myself from the charity shop. I got some more books. This was the main thing that I bought last month. So again, I can do flick throughs of these at some point, but I don't want to take any more of your time up today. This one is called Rose, and these ones are all French. So that's loads of different things that are pink, basically. So I think I got that off like We Love Books or one of those kind of eBay shops. I think I got this from Amazon. This is called Scenes Bucolique. I can't even say it. Whatever that says. But it's French, obviously. I really like the design on the front. And there's a couple of others on the back. I like the hot air balloon one as well. So I'm sure that was from Amazon. And then this was the one I mentioned last time. So I showed you the one with the cottage on the front. And this is the one from 2025. And look at that. Beautiful. So it's a girl sitting on an open book with all the beautiful flowers and butterflies and things. And this one basically has, again, 53 charts in it, but they're all to do with reading or, I don't know, you know, stories, different things like that. I'm trying to think. I'll just kind of flash that one as well. So it's got flowers and different things like that. Yeah, it's quite an eclectic mix of different things, like this Little Red Riding Hood, Puss in Boots, and a few kind of children's stories, Cinderella, that kind of thing. Lots of different stuff. So I really love this. And in fact, it's a hardback book as well. So it's like a kind of calendar. I think they bring them out every year. But it's got loads of different designers, especially Veronique Engineer is one of the main designers that I really like, and Hélène Lebert as well. So I love anything kind of Oriental Japanese inspired, so I also bought this one, which is all about Japan. This was from Amazon as well, so I think you can still get these. There's a few designs there, but I love these books. I've got quite a few now. So that was that one. Then I also got Bord de la Mer, so the seaside. Again, lots of little designs you could stitch, little motifs and things. Again, there's some others that are included in this book. And then, last but not least, I got Montagne au Fil de Saison. So it's basically the mountain in different seasons. So it's this kind of chalet with different things around it for each of the different seasons, as well as lots of other different bits and bobs. And it's got a really cute, where is it? Like a kind of otter or beaver design there. So there's some other things that are in the book. So very delighted to have those as well. So that is all my haul. And I will quickly pop this away and then show you a couple of the handmade gifts that I bought from holiday. I just realised I also forgot to show you a needle minder that I bought from Black Sheep Wools, and it is Feathers McGraw. Look! is part of the Bothy Threads Wallace and Gromit collection. And there he is, isn't he fab? So yeah, just found I was sitting on that, so had to slot it in here. So if you're not interested in hearing anything about the holiday, I'll say goodbye to you now, and I will see you in the next video in July, which will soon fly by, I'm sure. So thank you very much for watching if you're leaving me now. If you're not, I will very quickly, less than 5 minutes, just quickly mention a few of the places we went to in Krakow in Poland, and also some of the lovely kind of handmade gifts. I keep saying gifts, but I gifted them to myself, that I bought when I was there as well. So if you've not been to Krakow before, I highly recommend that you go. It was fantastic, really lovely people, amazing things to see, very kind of clean city. Obviously the locals and the people that work there in the kind of hospitality industries and for tourism and things obviously take great pride in keeping it looking lovely. And the food was amazing. We tried pierogi for the first time. We had some cherry vodka as well, which we did buy from duty free on the way back because it was so tasty. You could just drink that, which is very dangerous. And we had another thing that started with a Z. I'll put the name of it down below, but it was basically like an open baguette with like sauteed mushrooms and cheese, and then had different toppings on, and it was divine. And everything was so reasonable. Going out for dinner, you're kind of thinking, is that all? And sometimes we went and the alcohol was cheaper than actually having a soft drink. So yeah, amazing. So we went to a jazz bar when we first got there that was like an old jazz bar, so it had musical instruments on the wall and everything. It was really kind of quirky and eclectic, but really fab. So that's where we tried pierogi for the first time. Then the next day was a more kind of somber and educational day, I guess. We went to Auschwitz and Birkenau camps, which are about an hour and a half drive. We went with a tour group. Obviously, I think that's the way you have to do it. And yeah, that was a very sobering time and, very emotional being there. But I really am glad that we did it, and I recommend that anyone that goes definitely does, do that to learn about the history and everything that happened there. So I won't dwell on that, but that was one of the day trips we did. We also went around the markets, the Old Town, which is where I got a lot of my goodies that I want to share with you. We went to the salt mines, which are absolutely vast. I did not realise or know what to expect really from the salt mines, but they've got so many different statues carved out of salt, and a whole, two different chapels that you could actually see, with lots of key elements from the Bible made in salt. And chandeliers made out of salt. It was remarkable. So loved doing that. We went to St Mary's Basilica, which is a 13th century kind of Gothic inspired, it's obviously changed throughout different periods of time, but there's a huge Gothic altar which is absolutely incredible, and I'll put a picture in here of what it looks like, because it's one of those places you go in and you're just like, wow, I can't even believe I'm seeing it with my own eyes. It was breathtaking. So really enjoyed going to visit that. We also did a walking tour of the old town and learnt about, the castle wall and, how it used to look before it was all changed, and then during the occupation as well, how that influenced, things changing during that time in Krakow as well, and learning more about the history. Went to the old university and up to the castle, which again is absolutely huge, and so many different exhibitions are there that they said you would need, I think she said 2 months to go around all of it. So we just wandered around the grounds, which you can do freely, and really enjoyed seeing all the different architecture from all the different like Renaissance and Gothic and all the different inspirations really from all over the world, and a lot of Italian influence as well. So that was fabulous. We went to the old Jewish ghetto across the river as well, saw the ghetto wall, which again was another sobering kind of moment. But I'm glad we saw it. And we also went to Schindler's Factory as well, that was over that side, which was a fantastic museum to visit. Really, really enjoyed learning about all the history and going through all the different times. It was very immersive, I would say, and definitely worth a visit if you're interested in history in any sense. And we also went to an amazing Polish folk evening, which was another kind of tour that was organised, and it was in this wooden chalet, which was fabulous. And out, you know, quite far out of the city itself, and there was Polish music. We had more vodka because why wouldn't you? And they're all in their traditional Polish dress, and there was Polish dancing and singing, and we had a full 3-course meal with obviously traditional Polish food, and then had a buffet as well, if in case you weren't full enough. And it was just such a fabulous evening. It was all like big long tables, so we all sat, you know, with different people and got to chat to them. So a really fabulous time that I'd recommend if you're going to Krakow, to get the full experience of the traditional Polish culture. So I'll just quickly show you some of the things that I bought. And I was really delighted to find these kind of more unique things, because when I go to a place, I like to try and buy things that remind me of the place but aren't necessarily, you know, like the touristy kind of, I mean, we did buy a fridge magnet, but, you know, other kind of touristy things that you buy that have Krakow written all over them. I just wanted things that I could have out on display. So I got this gorgeous wooden bowl, which is a beautiful teal colour. And when you open it, I feel like you can smell, obviously you can't, but it smells lovely, the freshness of the wood and the fact that it's handmade and things. So I thought that could be another good art container, but very beautifully decorated. Really love that. And then they're also known for their ceramics. So I bought this little kind of jewellery tray, or, you know, I think you can use it for anything, but probably use it to put jewellery on by my bedside table. That was really lovely. And then I couldn't resist this little spoon. And when we went to Wales, I bought a Welsh love spoon. So I feel like I now need a spoon collection. It's got forget-me-nots on it. It's decorated on both sides, and it has got a hole in it if you wanted to display it or have it as an ornament or something like that. So that was really fun. And then these I was obsessed with. So they were making these in front of us at one of the markets, because I think the markets change different times of the year. So this was a crafters market, which was perfect for me. And they are basically metal roses that are then painted. And I thought, well, you can't just buy one. So I bought 3. And then I got the idea of like, this is our wedding colours. So now, we are going to have these at our wedding on display, reminding us of Krakow, and also just to show off their beauty. Because I mean, look at that teal one, it's kind of like blue and green, the way it's like metallic kind of paint. Oh, so beautiful. So I know roses aren't normally that colour, but I picked them because they reminded me of my wedding colours, and I thought they're fab. So we've got 3 of those to have out on display. And then they also had lots of artists as well, and by the castle wall there was lots of oil painters and things. So I bought this amazing little, hold it back, it looks even more splendid, this oil painting of a little cottage in winter time, and you can see all the brush strokes there, obviously as I bring it in closer, but when it's held back I think it's just absolutely breathtaking. It's obviously only a little piece, because realistically I had to be able to take all these back in my suitcase, but I just thought that was stunning. Really loved the, I don't know, the cozy vibes, and I mean, so inexpensive for how, you know, that it's a handmade item that's such high quality. And then I know Yasmin Smooth the Love has done some painted eggs on her website that you can buy, and obviously they're a very popular thing in Poland, so I got a few different colours of different painted eggs. This was one of my favourite ones, but I'm going to have those out for Easter. I'm going to show you all, but I've got a couple of those to have out. Went into a shop that did decoupage, so got some decoupage, like it's got forget-me-nots on it and like a little thistle, and this one's got irises, and on the back it's got butterfly. So I thought they'd be good for like little Instagram pictures and also cute little ornaments. So that was fabulous. And then bought some handmade bags as well. So I thought these would be good for project bags. So lovely blossom one. Love blossoms. And then this navy one with flowers on the top. The brand's called Carmel, but very inexpensive again for the quality of the bag. So that was those. And oh no, and then there was another artist there who did watercolours, and I ended up buying a lot of her stuff, and I think it really made her day that I bought so many. But these are absolutely beautiful. So I got this cornflowers piece. Again, these are like 6x4 kind of size. Poppies, really lovely. Irises, and more flowers there, my kind of colour scheme. And again, these were like £10 each, you know, you just, oh, that's why I bought so many. And then obviously these were a little bit more, but I got a spring one with the cherry blossom. I just love all the details, like when you hold that back, you feel like you're walking down that path. I got this one as like the summery one, which again I'll have these out and display. I want to get them framed properly. And then the autumn one as well, which is really pretty. And I think that's why I was inspired to buy the winter oil painting, to kind of complete my collection of seasonal pieces. So that is everything I have to share with you even. I'm so delighted that you were able to join me. I'm sorry there's not been a huge amount of stitching, but hopefully I've made up with it with all the haul and everything else that I've spoken about. So I look forward to seeing you in July. Hopefully my ring pillow will be well on the way, and that is something I can definitely show you. And I can't wait to talk to you all about the big stitch as well, and to see a lot of you there. Please come and say hi if you are going, and I can't wait to, you know, share in the excitement. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and hype if you really enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye!